So this is just a side video, a series of videos that I made. So basically, if this is the first time watching, I hired a pretend contractor off Craigslist, fired his ass. He told me he had so many years experience and he had his business for like 15 years, and obviously no way. So I fired him when I started seeing globs of joint compound on the wall. I thought they were testing stuff out, and then I started seeing paint on the walls. I said, no man, you guys gotta go. So he said, yeah, it's cool if we paint the walls because we'll just spot paint everything in. So this room's gonna be blue. So as you can see, we got spot painting. I think he meant spot of paint because that's one little blue strip. That has to be painted. 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 This has to be painted. That has to be painted. This whole wall has to be repainted because he did a crappy job on the repair, so I had to feather it in with a texture gun. And I have better equipment than this pretend contract. I'm just the homeowner, so I didn't get that part. We'll walk. I gotta learn how to pause this phone. But we'll walk to the other bedroom, so where they spot, said, yeah, it's cool. We'll throw a coat of paint on, then we'll just spot paint. It'll take real easy, or take real quick amount of time to finish. As you can see, I had to feather all that in with the texture gun and with the new closet. So that has to be painted. The whole wall has to be painted. So that one little corner, all right, that one little corner could be salvaged. So that's a spot of paint. So that whole wall has to be painted. That has to be painted. Their repairs were crappy, so I had to feather that in with the texture gun. This whole wall has to be painted. So again, I mean, the best decision I ever made when I seen them starting to paint. Fired them, and just the painting alone, they said they had so many years of painting, and it was horrible paint job. I had to scrape some of the paint off and sand it down to actually get it to look good. So as you can see, this whole wall has to be repainted. This whole entire room has to be repainted. So they should have never started painting these walls. But they basically, what they did, I'll talk for a minute as I'm zoned in on this. So they had just spackle patch jobs, not sanded down with a drywall sponge, and they just threw joint compound at the wall and it was dripping down, and that was good enough for them. If you watch my original video, it's just horrible work. And they just didn't do it out here, in the bedrooms. They did it in here, and I made another video. So this was literally looked like a cheetah, best way to describe it. There was joint compound patches everywhere with just a dripping joint compound on top of it for texture. So what I did is I took a knife, scraped it, or drywall knife, took a drywall sponge, sanded it down smooth, and then I had a Greco texture machine, which is some badass heavy duty commercial stuff, and then feathered it all in with the texture. So I actually, because I try to hire people, they're like, no, this work is so horrible, we don't want to touch it, we don't want our name on it. So I had to do it myself, which I don't get why no one would touch it, because it wasn't that hard. Drywall sponge. If you go you don't go to Menards or Home Depot or anything like that for a drywall sponge, you go straight to a drywall contractor store. And all ours here in Wisconsin are to the public, so just walked in and bought them, and they're so nice. You just literally wipe it like you're gently wiping a dish, and it just feathers it completely smooth. So it was hardly no work to do that. So yeah, now we're ready for paint. And if you ever have a pretend contractor just starts slapping paint on the walls and then asking for partial money, he's probably wanting crack. So get him out of your house.